Hello, this is Rachel and Dan from Primal for Life, and we're cooking up a recipe tonight from the Well Fed Paleo Recipes for People Who Love to Eat cookbook. This cookbook is available for purchase at julianbakery.com. And tonight we're going to make like a hearty meal. It's shepherd's pie, and you can do variations of this. This recipe has ground lamb. I'm not a big fan of lamb, and it's kind of hard to find grass-fed lamb at your grocery store. And I didn't feel like having red meat tonight either, because we've been having a lot of red meat. So we're actually going to try this with ground turkey. So we'll see how it comes out. So you have to start off this recipe by making mashed cauliflower, which is a recipe in this book as well. So we went ahead and did that already, and it's all done over there in our food processor. And now we're getting things going in the pan to get this all cooked up and then into the oven. So we have our oven already starting to preheat. Got to get it to 400 degrees. And now here we've melted about a half a tablespoon of the Nuco Liquid Premium Coconut Oil. Dan's going to tell you about that product in a minute, while I get our onion and carrot sauteing into the pan. You're just going to saute this a little bit, and then you're actually going to cover it on medium-low and allow the vegetables to get soft about 5 minutes. So Dan, why don't you tell them about the coconut oil?
So the Nuco Liquid Premium Coconut Oil, available through julianbakery.com in their paleo section. It is a premium coconut oil. It is organic, it's non-GMO, it's pourable, there's no fuss, no mess. And it is awesome stuff, and it comes in 3 flavors. We have the original, we have the garlic, and we have the lemon herb. All tasty stuff. And I don't know if we've done this cookbook before. Very colorful, lots of awesome recipes, lots of helpful tips, like tastes great with cumin roasted carrots, page 115. You can change up the flavors right there. She has some, this was a she, right?
I don't even know.
Melissa, yes. She adds in some tips here. You could do it Italian style, curry, Moroccan, Tex-Mex. So little tips right there. Very easy to read. I love this cookbook. And are we good?
Yeah, so we're getting this cooked up. Put that on medium-low. Put the timer on 5 minutes there. You don't want to let it brown, you actually just want the vegetables to soften. So we're going to let that cook for 5 minutes, and then we'll be back to show you the rest of it, and then we'll get it in the oven. Okay, we've been cooking these for 5 minutes. They're nice and soft. Now we're going to add a clove of garlic, and then just, no, that's not skin. And we're going to stir that up until it gets fragrant. And now we're going to get our ground turkey. Like I said, recipe calls for lamb. You could do hamburger. We're going to do turkey, and we're going to crumble this up. And the recipe actually is like for 4 to 6 people. We're cutting it back as well because there's only 3 of us, so you don't need to make such a big. Oops. Such a big meal when it's just us. Okay, and then we're going to cook this up after I wash my hands, of course. 5 to 10 minutes until it's all cooked and browned. So Dan, why don't you stir that up? Start stirring that up while I. Thank you. Like I said, this should take about 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll be back to show you the next step. Okay, so our turkey's all browned, and now we're going to season it with salt and pepper, and we're using the Sun Foods Superfoods Fine Himalayan Crystal Salt. Another wonderful product from julianbakery.com.
With 84 trace minerals.
Okay, and some freshly ground black pepper. All right, and then our next step is to add the rest of our ingredients. And that is a half a tablespoon of tomato paste. Half a teaspoon of the Coconut Secret raw coconut aminos.
One of my favorites. Tastes great, lots of vitamins, nutrients. You can get it through julianbakery.com in their paleo section.
Okay.
Great soy replacement.
And we're also having to add some rosemary and thyme. The recipe called for dried, but we have fresh, so chopped up the fresh that we had in there. And we need also a half a cup of chicken broth. So we got all that in there. We're going to stir this up. And then we got to let it simmer until most of the liquid is gone. So you don't simmer it covered, it's uncovered. So let me get all this incorporated, especially you want to make sure that that tomato paste is not all in one glob like that. I'm going to stir this all up and simmer this down. And then we'll be back to show you the final steps before we get it into the oven. Alright, so most of the liquid has evaporated now, and we're going to let this sit for about 10 to 15 minutes because the next step actually is you have to stir in some egg whites, beaten egg whites. So we need to let this get down to like room temperature a little bit. So we're going to let this sit, and then in the meantime, we're going to make a side over here. Got the idea for the recipe from another cookbook that we got from julianbakery.com, Primal Cravings, Your Favorite Foods Made Paleo. So we're going to make like a tabbouleh salad, but I'm also going to throw in some chunks of fresh mozzarella too. So the shepherd's pie is a, comfier, heartier, heavier type meal, so I wanted to give us a nice refreshing side to go with it. So I'm starting to cut everything up here. And this is, as you can see, a really, really easy recipe. It's just tomatoes, cucumbers, red onion, lemon juice, olive oil, mint, salt, and pepper. And like I said, I got little fresh mozzarella, and I'm going to add that to it as well to give us some little bit more healthy fats. So we'll be back in just a minute when our meat cools down, and we'll get our shepherd's pie in the oven and ready to eat. Okay, our meat's been going. We're got to do our egg white until it gets frothy. Starting to right there. Pour this over and mix this all up. Okay, now we're going to put this at the bottom of our make sure you get all that in there. Layer it. Okay. And now we're going to gently cover it with our mashed cauliflower, which I said we made earlier. So basically you can use frozen cauliflower or fresh. I use fresh, so you just steam it. And then you throw it in the food processor here. And then the recipe in this Well Fed cookbook calls for you to mix it with coconut oil, coconut milk, chives, salt, pepper. So we did that and blended it up. So now we're going to put this on lightly. So you don't want to like mix it in with the meat. Get every last bit in there, of course. Okay, and then just obviously spread it around, but like I said, you got to do it gently because you want this to be like the crust on top. You don't want it to mix in at all with the meat. Okay. And then it says to take a fork and do like zigzags because you're gonna have nicks and crannies in here that are gonna get nice and crunchy. Okay, oh, and a little space there.
Nooks and crannies.
That's what I said. Like an English muffin.
I heard nicks.
No, nooks. Okay, so that looks good. And then it says to sprinkle it with paprika. But we are going to use our trusted paleo powder if I can find it.
I moved it on you.
Dan always hides it on me.
Keep going. Right there, I think, right in front of you.
Yeah, okay.
Pow.
So we're going to dust it with our paleo powder, which is a phenomenal seasoning we use all the time. Also available for purchase at julianbakery.com. Dust it. All right. And we're going to get this in the oven. Again, our oven was preheated to 400, sorry. We're going to bake this for about, I think it's 25 to 30 minutes. And we'll see. Hopefully it comes out nice and toasty, and it's looking like I said, a nice hearty meal. And we're finishing up our tabbouleh salad over there. We'll show you when it's all done.
We'll get some paleo bread cooking too.
That's right. All right, so our timer's gone off. Let's see. Oh, that looks delicious. We got our bread heating up in there as well. So we gotta just let this sit for a few minutes, about 5 to 10, so you could scoop it out and it's not a big mess. We'll keep our paleo bread in there to get defrosted, because nothing like a nice, hearty, cozy meal. Everybody always wants a side of bread and butter, so that's what we're going to serve up as well. So we'll see you back in a second. Get this plated after it just sets up a little bit after getting out of the oven.
Okay, so our shepherd's pie and our tabbouleh salad are all set. We have our paleo bread on the side, the almond flavor, and I'm going to put a little bit of the paleo butter on that almond paleo bread for a little extra flavor, nutrition, and just awesome taste. So this is it. All right, so make sure you pick up both of these cookbooks. You have the Well Fed cookbook as well as the Primal Cravings cookbook. Paleo butter, paleo bread, coconut aminos, the Himalayan salt, and there's something else. The Nuco Liquid Premium Coconut Oil. Grab all those through julianbakery.com/paleo and enjoy this meal like we will. All right, this is Dan, Rach, and Allie from Primal for Life.